More Taguchi arrays. Taguchi test matrices for various combinations of parameters and levels. In previous lessons, we compared full factorial analyses to fractional factorial analyses. We also discussed rules for how to construct proper Taguchi arrays. We looked at 3 Taguchi arrays previously, where P is the number of parameters tested, and L is the number of levels to be tested for each parameter. Here we show Taguchi arrays for several other combinations of P and L. For each case, we also specify the number of times each parameter level is to be tested. But first, I'll give a short quiz. What's wrong with this array? Think about it.
Sir, I see a C1 and a D2 twice.
Right, Sean. C1 and D2 indeed appear twice, and that is an unnecessary repetition.
B1 and D3 are also repeated.
Good catch, Arnold. B1 and D3 also appear twice. There are other problems. Try to find them yourself.
Sir, I see C3 and D3 also repeated.
Good catch, Ned. C3 and D3 also appear twice. And there's at least one other problem you can find. That array is not correct. Here's the corrected one. Swapping the 3 and the 2 fixes everything.
It's kinda like a Sudoku puzzle. Bro, I believe it's pronounced Sudoku. Whatever.
That's a great comparison, Duck and Dick. And creating these arrays can be fun and challenging. I'll quickly go through some other examples. Here's P2L3, and you can see we test each level 3 times. P2L4, testing each level 4 times. P2L5, testing each level 5 times. With only 2 parameters, these are trivial to construct. You put in all the 1s, then all the 2s, etc. for the first column, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and repeat that over and over for the second column. Here's P3L2 and P3L3. We examined both of these in previous lessons. Here's P3L4, testing each level 4 times, and P3L5, testing each level 5 times. You can start to see a pattern here, where the first 2 columns are the same as previously, but since we added a 3rd parameter, we have to start shuffling these things around, and you can see the pattern there as well. We have to do this carefully so as not to violate our rules. By the way, this one is also called the Latin square matrix. Here's P4L4 testing 4 times, and P4L5 testing 5 times. When you add the 4th column, you have to really start shuffling around to satisfy our rules. Look at B and D, for example. Here's a 2 and a 5, but you don't see a 2 and a 5 anywhere else in this whole array. And notice that when B is 2, D is 2, 4, 1, 3, and 5. Every one of the D levels appears once when B is 2, and that holds for any other combination of parameters. And finally, here's P5L4, testing 4 times. I created a PDF file showing Taguchi arrays with various choices of P and L. This is page 1, page 2, and page 3. P is in red going across, and L is in green going down. These arrays are very useful for doing experiments. You can download this PDF file at this website, and I'll add that URL to the comments of this video. Let's zoom in on this bottom line. I show increasing accuracy going up on the left and decreasing cost as you go down on the right. A full factorial array is the most accurate. You'd use that if cost or time is not a big issue. A truncated array or a Taguchi non-orthogonal array would have the least cost since it involves the least number of runs, but it would also have the least accuracy. You'd use it if cost or time is prohibitive. For example, testing rocket engines, and each test costs millions of dollars. Taguchi orthogonal arrays are in the middle, kind of the sweet spot between accuracy and cost. I hope you find that these Taguchi arrays are useful. I have used them successfully in my research over the years. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.